Hello everyone. Today we are going to study Indian economy during 1950 to 1990. This chapter will help us in understanding the goals of India's 5-year plans, development policies in different sectors, and merits and limitations of regulated economy. This box talks about the central objective of planning in India. It is to initiate a process of development which will raise the living standard and open out to the people new opportunities for a richer and more varied life. From this, we understand the objective is not just economic growth in terms of GDP but also social development of India. Introduction. On 15th August 1947, India woke up to new dawn of freedom. We were masters of our own destiny. After 200 years of British rule, job of nation building was in our own hands. The leaders of independent India had to decide, among other things, the type of economic system, the system which would be most suitable for our nation, which will promote welfare of all rather than few. There are different types of economic systems. Socialism appealed to the Jawaharlal Nehru the most. However, he was not in the favor of socialism established in former Soviet Union. In Soviet Union, all the means of production, that is factories, farms in the country, were owned by the government. There was no private property as such. But Nehru thought that in democracy like India, government it was not possible for government to change the ownership of land and other properties. Nehru and many other leaders and thinkers of newly independent India wanted an alternative to extreme version of capitalism and socialism. Basically, they wanted the best out of both the systems. They combined the best features of socialism without its drawback. In this view, India would be a socialist society with a strong public sector, but also with a private property and democracy. The government would plan for economy with the private sector being encouraged to be part of the plan effort. Industrial Policy Resolution of 1948 and Directive Principle reflected this outlook. In 1950, Planning Commission was set up and Prime Minister was chairman of Planning Commission. And from that point onwards, the era of 5-year plans had begun. Now let's take a look at goals of 5-year plans. Before that, let us understand various economic systems and what exactly meaning of plan. Types of economic system. Every society has to answer three questions. What goods and services should be produced in a country? How should they be produced? Should producers use more human labor or more capital? How should they be how should the goods and services be distributed? One answer is to depend on market forces of supply and demand. In market economy, also called capitalism, only those consumer goods will be produced that are in demand and which goods that are sold profitably. If for example, if cars are in demand, cars will be produced. If bicycles are in demand, bicycles will be produced. If labor is cheaper than capital, more labor intensive methods of production will be used and vice versa. In capitalist society, goods produced are distributed among people not on the basis of what people need but on the basis of purchasing power, that is, ability to buy goods and services. That means one has to have money in the pocket to buy it. Low cost housing for the poor is much needed, but it will not be considered as demand in capitalist society because poor do not have purchasing power to back the demand. Thus, this commodity will not be produced and supplied as per market forces. This type of society did not appeal to Jawaharlal Nehru, for it meant the great majority of people in the country would be left behind without the chance to improve their life. In socialist society, answer to the three questions, the socialist society answers the three questions in different manner. The government decides what goods are to be produced in accordance with needs of society, and it is assumed that government knows what is good for people in the country, and so the desires of individual consumers are not given much importance. The government decides how goods are to be produced and how they should be distributed. In principle, distribution under socialism is supposed to be based on what people need and not they can afford. Unlike capitalism, socialist nations provide free health care to all citizens. Strictly, socialist society has no private property since everything is owned by the state. In Cuba and China, for example, most of the economic activities are governed by socialist principles. Most economies in modern times are mixed economies. The government and market both together answer these questions. In mixed economy, market will provide whatever goods and services it can produce well, and government will provide essential goods and services like healthcare, education, which the market fails to do. Now let us understand what is a plan. A plan spells out how the resources of nation should be put to the use. It should have some general goals and specific objective as well. In India, plans were of 5-year durations and were called 5-year plans. This idea was borrowed from Union. Our plan documents up to 2017 not only specify objective to be attained in 5 years but also talk about the objectives to be achieved in the period over the period of 20 years. These plans were called perspective plans. It will be unrealistic to expect all goals of plan to be given equal importance because we have limited resources and not all goals can be fulfilled in one plan. For example, goal of introducing modern technology may be in conflict with the goal of increasing employment. If the technology reduces the need of labor, for example, artificial intelligence and machine learning or robotics, the planners have to balance the goals, a very difficult job indeed. India's 5-year plans did not spell out how much of each and every goods and service to be produced. This is neither possible nor necessary. It was done in former Soviet Union, but they failed. It is enough if the plan is specific about the sectors where it plays a commanding role. For instance, power generation and irrigation, while leaving the rest to the market. Now, let's see the goals of 5-year plans. A plan should have clearly specified goals. The goals of 5-year plans were growth, modernization, self reliance, and equity. This does not mean all the plans have given equal importance to all these goals. Due to limited resources, the choice was to prioritize among these goals. Now, first goal is growth. It refers to increase in country's capacity to produce the output of goods and services within the country. It implies either larger stock of productive capital or a larger size of supporting services like transport, banking, or an increase in efficiency of productive capital or services. Good indicator of economic growth in the language of economics is steady increase in gross domestic product. GDP is a market value of all goods and services produced in a country during a year. You can think of GDP as a cake and growth as as increase in the size of cake. If cake is larger, more people can enjoy it. So it is necessary to produce more goods and services if people of India are to enjoy a more rich and varied life. GDP of country is derived from different sectors like agriculture, industrial and sector. Contribution made by each of these sector makes up the structural composition of economy. Some countries growth in agriculture contributes more to GDP, while some countries growth in service sector contributes more to GDP. In India, the contribution of service sector is larger in GDP. What is meaning of modernization? So to increase the production of goods and services, the producers have to adopt new technology. For example, a farmer can increase the output on farm by using new seed varieties instead of using the old ones, which was done during the Green Revolution. Similarly, a factory can increase output by using new type of machine like machine learning, robotics, etc. Adoption of new technology is called modernization. However, modernization does not only refer to new technology, it also means the social outlook of people should also change, such as recognition that women should have the same rights as men. In a traditional society, women are supposed to remain at home while men work. But in modern society, the talent of women in workplace, in banks, factories should be used, and such society which uses the talent of women also will be more prosperous. Self-reliance. A nation can promote economic growth and modernization by using its own resources or using resources imported from other nations. First 7 5-year plans gave importance to self reliance, which means avoiding imports of those goods which could be produced in India itself. This policy was considered a necessity in order to reduce our dependence on foreign countries. Since India was newly independent country, it was essential for us to maintain our independence in all means by all means, especially for food. It is understandable that people who were recently freed from foreign domination should give importance to self reliance. Also, it was feared that dependence on imported food supplies, foreign technology, and foreign capital may make India's sovereignty vulnerable to foreign interference in our policies. Now, equity. Modernization, growth, self reliance by themselves may not improve the kind of life which people are living. Country can have high growth, most modern technology developed in country, but still most of its people may be living in poverty. Therefore, it is important to ensure that benefits of economic prosperity reach the poor section as well instead of being enjoyed only by the rich. So, in addition to growth, modernization, and self reliance, equity is also important. Every Indian should be able to meet her basic needs such as food, decent house, and education, and inequality in distribution of wealth should be reduced. Let's take a look at another box. Mahalanobis, the architect of Indian planning. Many distinguished thinkers contributed to formulation of India's 5-year plans. Among them, statistician Prasanta Chandra Mahalanobis stands out. Planning in real sense of terms began with second 5-year plan. The second plan, a landmark contribution to development planning in general, laid down the basic ideas regarding goals of Indian planning. It was based on ideas of Mahalanobis. In that sense, he, he can be regarded as architect of Indian planning. He was born in 1893 in Calcutta. and educated at Presidency College of Calcutta and at Cambridge University in England. His contribution to subject of statistics brought him international fame. In 1945, he was made a fellow of Britain's Royal Society, one of the most prestigious organizations of scientists. Only the most outstanding scientists are made members of this society. Mahalanobis established the Indian Statistical Institute in Calcutta and started a journal Sankhya, which still serves as respected forum for statisticians. Both ISI and Sankhya are highly regarded by statisticians and economists all over the world to this day. During second plan period, Mahalanobis invited many distinguished economists from India and abroad to advise him on India's economic development. Some of these became Nobel Prize winners. The later, which shows that he could identify individuals with talent. Among the economists invited by Mahalanobis were those who were critical of the socialist principle. In other words, he was willing to listen to what his critics had to say, the mark of great scholar. Many economists today reject the approach to planning formulated by Mahalanobis, but he will always be remembered for playing a vital role in putting India on the road of economic progress. The service sector. As a country develops, it undergoes structural change. In the case of India, structural change is peculiar. With development, the share of agriculture declines and share of industry becomes dominant. At higher level of development, service sector contributes more to GDP than other two sectors. But in India, share of agriculture in GDP was more than 50% as we would expect for poor country. But by 1990, share of service sector was 40.59%, more than agriculture or industry, which is generally seen in developed nations. This phenomena of growing share of industry was accelerated in post 91 period of globalization liberalization. We will evaluate the success of 5-year plans in the next part.